We're going to talk about a couple of new topics in cognition, Alzheimer's. One of them is there's a new chatbot. It uses artificial intelligence and it can diagnose Alzheimer's in time for intervention. The key thing is in time for intervention. We're not going to go that deep on that today. We're actually going to talk about a new wonder drug discovered at UCSF that's taking mice and turning Alzheimer's demented mice back into youthful thinkers. They're solving their way through puzzles now. And we're not talking about over months or years. We're talking about practically overnight. And that's a quote, practically overnight. Now here's a clue. Why am I showing Rapa Nui? Easter Island. Well, I'll go a little bit deeper into that clue before we dive into the topic. You remember Easter Island, again, the official or the native name for Easter Island is Rapa Nui. There was a bug discovered out there, a bacteria and a chemical, a biological chemical known as sirolimus. It's a macrolide, it's a type of antibiotic, and it's called rapamycin. Does rapamycin ring any bells for you? Its most common use is as an immunosuppressant. It's covering stents. It's used for kidney transplants. For stents, it helps decrease rejection of the stent. And it comes from the bug that I mentioned, Streptomyces hygroscopicus. It inhibits MTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin, which is all about autophagy. Now, wait a minute. We're going down a bunny hole. Let's go back and talk about UCSF and their new wonder drug, and then find out what that has to do with autophagy and rapamycin, that black market youth drug. The article is in a magazine called MDLIVE. I had never heard about it. I saw some of the press releases on it. Again, we're talking about, I wouldn't have believed the claims or the magazine itself, MDLIVE, but I saw that it was coming from UCSF, so I think it's worth taking a look. The official title is Small Molecule Cognitive Enhancer Reverses Age-Related Memory Decline in Mice. And by the way, you keep seeing this image. This is a picture of that small molecule stress response inhibitor. That's the term here, ISRB, Integrated Stress Response Inhibitor. So basically, here's the bottom line on this. It talks about how there's a stress response, and that stress response closes down a lot of things like protein development and further function and development of cells. That was developed to help freeze cells when they need to be frozen. For example, when a virus has infected that cell, you do not want it to make new proteins because it's been hijacked by the virus itself. They talk about a couple of biomarkers, activating transcription factor 4, ATF4, and another one, which I won't repeat the technical name. Basically what happens is ISRB, this small protein, inhibits this activity, this integrated stress response. When it does, it begins to reverse memory problems in mice. They can now start navigating through mazes that they were not able to navigate the day before because of their age-related memory decline. They're using this ISRIB, by the way, in other places, like reducing immune profiles, interferon and T-cell mediated responses, and some other things as well. So again, it's starting to sound a little bit like our old friend rapamycin. Multiple different uses, all involving protein development by cells. And yes, that's what's going on. In fact, what they go on to say is that it's very much related to rapamycin and MTOR. MTOR which impacts, or rapamycin which impacts MTOR. MTOR is the protein within the cell which is actually named after rapamycin, mammalian target of rapamycin. You see, rapamycin pushes this process autophagy one way, and it looks like ISRIB pushes it in a different way. The two of them together seem to be creating some balance. Where have we heard of MTOR before? We did a few videos on a fellow named David Sabatino. He's an incoming medical neurological researcher at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He's evidently up for some big awards due to his work with MTOR. Again, we've talked about stimulating autophagy through fasting and other means. And the fact that this image, for example, came from the December 26th New England Journal of Medicine, where they showed, yes, fasting can stimulate autophagy. Again, there's other things that can stimulate autophagy as well. MTOR and ISRIB now, and rapamycin. So, to go back and put a cap on this, it's maybe reversible. That's according to Susanna Rossi. And I'm not talking about autophagy, I'm talking about age-related memory decline. Her quote was, "A kind of reversible blockage rather than a more permanent damage. Brief ISRIB treatment can reboot mouse spatial brain function almost overnight." They also looked at the hippocampus specifically, which is a major focus of human cognitive decline with Alzheimer's. Hippocampal function and connections began to return to normal. So, sounds like it could be very promising, but you know what? So did rapamycin. Hopefully we don't have to wait as long for ISRIB to become a big deal as we've had to wait for rapamycin. Thank you for your interest. Why wait for a disease and hope for a cure? I used to be an ER doc. My name is Ford Brewer. I quit ER after a few years because it was just so frustrating. Most of the things bringing people into the ER are things that should have been prevented, including heart attack, stroke, number one cause of death, number one cause of permanent disability. People think that you're just going to have those and that they're not predictable. Both of those are wrong. They are predictable, and you don't have to have them. Usually it's lifestyle. Lifestyle is more important than supplements and even prescription drugs and even stents and surgery. But the current times are tough. Major financial impact with the lockdowns that most states have been going through. We've been working on a way to make this much more affordable with a subscription process, and that's exactly what we're announcing today. We've got two levels. One is the Silver membership, where you get access to our courses, a private webinar each month, and access to our supplement store and supplement recommendations and prescription. Or I would suggest even more so, the Gold membership. You can get a script for a Freestyle Libre and find out what your blood sugar metabolism's doing on a daily basis. And you can get a lab order for inflammation, OGTT, and insulin survey. You can also get a 30-minute one-on-one with me. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Cost is no longer an excuse. So if you're interested, go to go.prevmedheartrest.com/prevmed-subscription or call us at 859-721-1414, 859-721-1414, or email us at myhealth@prevmedheartrest.com. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.